Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, May 4th, and you know what that means. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. And without further ado, let's get into the news. NXT's PLEs will officially be moving to the CW. This is part of a new deal. Stand and Deliver came on YouTube, and that was the last one. So that means Great American Bash, I forget what the other ones are, Halloween Havoc, they will all be airing on the CW. The real reason that the Death Riders did not turn on John Moxley is because, well, Moxley didn't want it to happen. He said that's WWE stuff. No, we don't need to turn on each other. We persevere, we move through, we move forward, and it's worked, and the storyline has just gotten better. Evil made his debut from New Japan into NXT, and the reason that he is in NXT is part of his own request. He wanted to get acclimated with the WWE style and the way WWE does things. It's great. It's a big name for them. If you saw NXT last week as well, you saw that they, and I immediately called it out when I saw the video, they had an AI video about it was Zarya talking about her win over so Ruka is a multi-billion-dollar company, and they were using AI for a video instead of just, paying somebody to make the video. The whole video was AI, so AI heavy. And there's a community note on the video on Twitter, on Facebook, stating that this video was created by AI. They're lazy. They're so it's bad. There's a rumor AEW Redemption, they trademarked that name for a summer pay-per-view. Looking like it will take place between Forbidden Door and All In. There usually is a gap in between there, and right now it's looking like Canada might get the event. We shall see. I think All Out is taking place in Toronto this year, I believe. Nashville, Tennessee is making a bid for WrestleMania, probably 2029. We don't know about Indianapolis and New Orleans because they were both screwed out of WrestleManias. Carlos Silva, head of TNA, explained why he pulled TNA stars from matches involving AEW stars, saying it was just a business decision, and we got to make sure we put our guys and girls in the best possible position to win. Mind you, no one had an issue with this when Jody Threat defeated Mercedes Moné. So, and Will Ospreay and MJF called him out on it. The reason that Zoe Hines was signed to the WWE, well, it was political pressure, as she is RFK Jr.'s niece. She's a former Boston College softball player, had a tryout with the company, was fine, but Linda McMahon is the Secretary of Education. Triple H is friends with Trump, so that's why she got hired, not off of her own volition. Anna Jay does confirm that her contract is coming up. There's a lot of stuff. She says there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and you just gotta wait and see what happens next. I'm very much hoping she stays in AEW. SmackDown moving back to 2 hours. Looks like this is the plan going forward. The first half of the year will be 3 hours, and the second half of the year will be 2 hours. There were a few more cuts, releases, departures, as you want to put them. Tangaloa and Jason Mateo of the MFT are gone, and check out the news episode of the High Risk Wrestling Podcast as well as pick out where they should go. And even more shocking news, the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods also departed the WWE. They were essentially asked by TKO, while still under contract, to restructure their deals and take lesser money, and they were like, nah, and asked for the releases, and they got it. They are under a 90-day non-compete clause, but that clause is up before All In, and it's kind of been like a general consensus, if you look online, just not only from the support that they receive, but it's looking like they'll probably end up in AEW along with the Motor City Machine Guns. And TKO is approaching many talents about taking pay cuts as well. Mind you, TKO pays the wrestlers 18% of the revenue, just like they do UFC, whereas AEW pays 50% of the revenue. let that sink in. Stephanie Vickera is out with an injury. She has been written off of TV. She's been dealing with a bunch of stuff, so she will be out for a few months, maybe longer. But she will be missing some significant time. Ash Balligans is undergoing surgery amid her ongoing health battle. We don't know what it is, but it's something that's difficult to diagnose. Persephone is also out with an injury. She's written out by the Julia Hart missed attack. We don't know what she is dealing with, but she's been removed from the battle, the Survivor of the Fittest 6-way challenge for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. And some very, very heartbreaking news. Rebel, not Reba, has been diagnosed with terminal ALS. And she says doctors say she doesn't have long. She let us know on May 1st on her Instagram, and she has the support of her friends, her family, and especially everybody in AEW. We are praying for you. We hope you pull through. Just words of encouragement. That's all we got to do. But that is the news. I'm shooting right back with the weekend review. The weekend review. You know how we do. Monday Night Raw. Jacob Fatu is about that life. We got a video of Jimmy, Jay, and Roman discussing Jacob's motives. We're kind of playing with the devil on the shoulder, angel on the shoulder. Jay said, Jacob is a dangerous man and he's the shot caller. And Jimmy's like, he's doing what he's doing for his family. You need to understand that. We then transition to Seth and Braun. Seth was like, yo, you cost me my world title. You cost me my match with Gunther. You took me out. I got to fix things. I got to make this right. And Braun said, I got tired of you cut the same tired promos each and every week. And you would have me and Bronson fight your battles. Well, we're done. We are done. Braun said that Seth is brittle and the best in the world at being number 2. Seth challenged Braun to a match at Backlash, and it looks like it might be official. We got hype for the women's division. Raquel had attacked Stephanie backstage. That's how she was written out of TV. Our first match of the evening was Penta versus Rusev. Solid match, but Penta got the W. This is a really, really good match. He got the W after a springboard, and he countered what Rusev was going for with another kick, and he locked in a roll-up. Rusev attacked him after the match. Javon Evans tried to make the save until Ethan Page got involved. Penta super kicked Rusev, and Evans hit him with the OG cutter, and the heels retreated. So I'm expecting a tag match at some point. Then we got everything with the Americanos for their contract signing going on AAA on Friday. This is going to be really, really good. Becky Lynch had an open challenge. Look, she is the Intercontinental Champion. She's a 3-time Intercontinental Champion, which is crazy. She says she's the first woman to win 4 different titles at WrestleMania. And she said being a road champion means showing up and run down towns like Laredo. She is an open challenge. And Io Sky answered the challenge, and Becky was like, no, I want it new, not old. And she slapped her, but the match was made official. And got the titles on the line. Really good match. These two have some really good chemistry. It's Becky and Io. Like, come on. But ultimately, Becky won by hitting the manhandle slam after Asuka tripped Io on the apron. Asuka tried to get in the ring, but the ref held her back. And we are not done with these two. We're finally going to get that long-awaited match at Backlash. Rey Mysterio was with OG Americano, and he said that he only wants respect for Lucha Libre. And he froze until Bravo and Ryo showed up, and everybody argued. Usos were LA Knight and Knight. Listen, you my boys. I like you. I respect you. But yo, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Looks like we getting the Bloodline 2.0. Well, I think they're going to be called the First Family now. And Knights, power corrupts. And if it gets into my way, it becomes my business. Joe Hendry made his Raw debut with a concert, which was interrupted by the Vision until the Street Profits made the save. Grayson Waller demanded an apology and mocked Obafemi as overrated. Well, he's gonna get that match. And Adam Pearce made it official. Rey Mysterio took on El Grande Americano. This is the Ludwig Kaiser one. And Ray won with the 619 and then dropped the dime after the match. OG Americano attacked El Grande after the match, and officials and producers had to separate them. Asuka in a video vignette said Io was ungrateful, selfish, and her biggest failure. She said she blamed herself for years but realized Io was the problem and that she spared Io because she thought they could be family. Now she plans to destroy her at Backlash. Io will learn that she is never, ever, and will never, ever be ready for Asuka. Obafemi took on Grayson Waller. This was a quick match. Obafemi won in about a minute with the, I believe, fall from Grace. And then Oba got on the mic, so he's going to have an open challenge each and every week until someone can stop him, until someone can step up to him since he put down the beast. Liv gave Roxanne and Raquel a pep talk before their match. After Raquel left, Liz apologized for how things went with Finn, and you know, Liz looks, I know it's hard because Finn's the one that brought you into this group, and you know we never put ourselves before family. Roxanne was torn. Liv left, and Finn approached Roxanne and said, "Yo, never trust Liv or the Judgment Day." And Roxanne told Finn to leave before he got hurt. And then we had the said tag match with Lyra and Bayley taking on Roxanne and Raquel. We've seen this match God knows how many times. Fine match, solid, but ultimately Roxanne got the W with the pop rocks after Liv Morgan caused a distraction. We got a video vignette for Sol Ruka. And we ended the show with our main event segment, ladies and gentlemen. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. This was good. Roman said, "Yo, I'm making the World Heavyweight title relevant." And you know, acknowledge me. Jacob came out and said, "Look, I want that. I want your spot." And Fatu said, "Look, y'all didn't want me here. Solo gave me a chance when you and your cousins didn't." And Roman said Solo doesn't even run things around here, and he didn't even earn a title shot. Fatu snapped, locked in, ladies and gentlemen, the Tongan death grip on Roman. Put that man, yo, I have not seen the Tongan death grip in like 15 years. Crazy. And he finished off. Roman said Roman gives him the match at Backlash, and Jacob said he'll see him next week. The Tongan death grip. It's been so long since I've seen that, man. It's just good stuff. We opened up on a Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. This show gets a thumbs up with Kenny and Kevin Knight, not Kenny. Kevin Knight and MJF. MJF said, "Look, I want my match. The match is gonna kick off." I, along with a lot of people, assumed that not only was MJF going to win this match, but he would go on to put the title on the line against Darby Allin at Dynamite. I mean, at Dynamite, at Double or Nothing. But ladies and gentlemen, great match. Kevin Knight retained. MJF tried to cheat, and he got hit with a low blow, and Kevin Knight got the pinfall. MJF had worked over Kevin Knight's leg this match, so that's what he was working on after the match. Darby Allin descended from the heavens and made the save. Brody King came out and said, "Look, I like both of y'all, but I'm going to be champion next." We got a quick package about Darby and Brody's sister. Remember, they used to kill each other. Renee asked Christian and Cope about Christian's fractured arm and the I Quit challenge, and Christian accepted it, and Cope was like, "Bro, you have your history of I Quit matches?" And Christian said, "I never said I quit," and left. The Brawling Birds won a quick squash over Emily J and Jordan and Blade just to get some reps in. Then we got we're backstage with Thekla and Sky Blue. Is Julia hurt? We've been seeing a lot of Thekla and Sky Blue together. Thekla was like, "Thekla, everybody keeps saying, why do you keep saying AEW has so many dumb bitches?" And she's like, "Well, I wouldn't have to keep saying there's so many dumb bitches in AEW, but there's just so many dumb bitches in AEW." They took out the Birds. they got the dub back, and they're not done with them. Okada put the International Championship on the line against Ace Austin. No, he wasn't on commentary. This was a really, really fun match, but you knew there was no point in having this match when you got the title being put on the line against Takeshi, the Double or Nothing. This should have been an eliminator match. Maybe Okada could have taken an L here, but ultimately Okada won, retaining and keeping hold of the championship. Then they attacked Austin after the match until Takeshi appeared on stage to stare down Okada. Okay, we got a video package. So you know those Wild West Jones we see with Bandito, right? And you hear the fight, you hear what's going on, and then you see the bounty on the ground, and a lone figure picks it up, and it's Swerve. And Swerve is handed a lighter by Nana and lights the bounty on fire. We getting a Swerve and Bandito? Bro. Now, keep this strictly in Ring of Honor so you can have something to build to. Oh my God, Swerve and Bandito. Ugh, it's going to be fantastic. Then we saw the Death Riders training, and Ospreay showed up, and Mox asked Ospreay if he's cleared. He's not clear, but he's got to go help his boys out in Japan, and Mox likes that loyalty, and they begin their training session as Mox says, I'm going to break you down, and we're going to stop with your cloudy vision. We're going to get everything right with you. This is going to be good stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Cope and Christian took on Roppongi Vice in a solid tag team match with about 13 minutes, but ultimately they got the win after Christian speared Trent. Ultimately, after the match, Copeland forced Dorada to say I quit, and we got the street fight going down. Of course, after the match, we moved the Jericho and the Demand, and of course Jericho got his ass beat by the Demand. That's just how it goes. The Divine Dominion put the Women's Tag Team Championship on the line against Statlander and Shida. This was a tale of two matches. Like the first half, it was rough. It was a little sloppy, but then that second half, something clicked. And after all the miscommunications, things kicked into high gear and became a really, really good tag match. Well, ultimately, the Divine Dominion retaining. We were backstage with Andrade trolling MJF. Andrade has momentum. Yeah, he really has momentum. MJF interrupted and accused Andrade of ruining the company. And Andrade repeatedly said, "How you know? How you know?" Kala stepped in and said, "We got to keep things professional, but we will make things better." Roosh won a quick squash, and again, when you mess with the bull, you get the horns. We were backstage with the Ops, and Renee asked the Ops about their game plan. Joe said they would return to dominance or highlight each other's strength. Joe addressed Ospreay directly, telling him, "Listen, you can choose between the Death Rider and choose between the Ops. We stand united." Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. The Ops gets another member, at least one or two more members. We got to follow up with the Hurt Syndicate. We were backstage with FTR and Orange Cassidy. FTR challenged Orange Cassidy backstage, so we're going to get ourselves a double Jeopardy match. If Orange Cassidy wins, he gets a tag team title shot. If Dax wins, they get a trios championship match. Their third partner will be Ciampa. And we move over to the main event, ladies and gentlemen. World Championship on the line. Darby Allin versus Brody King. Just go and watch this match. Just a beautiful car wreck. It's a sight to behold, man. These two dudes just love fighting each other. Ultimately, Darby Allin got the win after really battering Brody, fighting on the concrete. And as Brody answered the 10 count, rolling back into the ring, Darby hit 2 coffin drops to win the match. Respect was shown after the match. Over on Impact, the show gets a fist as Elijah will be getting his revenge. We open up with Jeff Hardy versus Vincent, and Jeff got the W with the Swanton Bomb after the lights went out, and Broken Man Hardy made his return. Backstage with Kaz, Gia, was interviewing him, asking about his walk with Elijah match, and he vowed to win despite tonight's stipulation. Ali put the international championship on the line against Adam Brooks. Adam got a little bit of working, but Ali ultimately won with the 450. Eric Young cut a promo backstage, talking about evolving and adapting. He challenged EC3 to a no rules match next week. We're going to see if EC3 accepts that, and we move over to the knockouts, where we got a 6-woman tag stemming from everything that went down in the Undead realm. It was Rosemary, Ali, Mara Sade taking on Tessa, Victoria Crawford, and Mila Moore. Solid match. I'm looking forward to maybe like a 6-woman Monsters Ball match, but ultimately the good girls got the job done. Rosemary, Spirit, Mila, and Ali hit the code breaker for the win. This was Ali's first match back in many years. Then we got the injury report updates on Santana, Trey Miguel, Cass, and Elijah. Santino was backstage with Indy. He announced that he'd been cleared of all charges. Remember, he was suspended, but he was out with an injury. He booked Moose and Leon Slater versus the System next week, and he announced Nick Nemeth and Casey Navarro versus the System for the tag team titles. Ariana Grace versus Laying Lee, and Zaya Brookside will be banned from ringside. Indy returned from suspension as Santino's star witness, and she said she had unfinished business with Ariana Grace. Someone's taking that title off of her. We were Mike Santana and Nick Nemeth. Santana reflected on last week's match with Rich Swann, how good it was, the respect that they have for each other. And Nemeth still has that call your shot trophy to cash in. He says Santana could be left with nothing. Let's see what happens. Daria learned Santino and Indy were no longer suspended, and she walked in. Indy walked in. Daria warned her to be careful. She said Indy's contract was coming up, so Indy looked concerned but determined. Okay, maybe we'll finally get Daria in the ring. The hometown man took on Mr. Elegance, but Mr. Elegance was always going to win this match, and he won with his finisher. Rosemary, Ali, Mara Sade celebrated their win, and Rosemary said the work is not done. They're coming. They're not done at all. We definitely need some more tag teams in the Knockouts division. Laying Lee, G. Miller, and Tommy were together. Lay said she didn't want her rematch and wanted to return to China, and Dreamer encouraged her to listen. You are a great warrior. We believe in you. Keep on fighting. We're building up Laying Lee's confidence again because she lost the Knockouts championship. Leon Slater said he was close to becoming the longest reigning X Division champion. He mocked Cedric Alexander for being past his prime, and Cedric cost Slater a child and demanded another title shot. The System attacked Slater from behind until Moose made the save and cleared the ring. Ryan Nemeth and AJ Francis were together. Ryan complained about not teaming with Nick next week because Nick's teaming with Casey Navarro. AJ questioned how he got into the room. AJ said he didn't care about the Nemeth family drama. He said Casey Navarro belonged to him, and Ryan looked uneasy. Main event was the Walk with Elijah match. Elijah versus Frankie Kazarian. Both men were fighting already backstage. I believe this was like a strap match. Elijah threw Cass into the equipment. They're just fighting all over the ring until Elijah won after a smash the guitar and touched the fourth corner. So this was essentially a bull rope match. I just call it a bull rope match. Over on SmackDown, Jacob Fatu is fighting. He is not backing down at all. We were in the ring with Cody, who says he's been officially cleared, and he's interrupted by Ricky Saints. And look, Ricky does what Ricky does. If you heard one Ricky Saints promo, you heard them all. And Cody said, "What's different from where we were to where we are?" And Saints said he's ready to relieve Cody of his duties and take the championship. Cody said, "I'm easy to find but hard to beat." Charlotte and Alexa were backstage and asked about Fatal Influence's numbers. Rhea offered to help. Charlotte declined, saying 3 is a crowd and all she needs is her protecting partner, Alexa Bliss. But I know you and Alexa got this whole little golf thing going on. We shall see. JC Jane took on Charlotte Flair, and this was solid. It was fine. The figure 8 was locked in before everybody started fighting ringside, allowing Charlotte to get distracted and JC Jane to hit the rolling encore, and she defeats Charlotte Flair. After the match, Rhea Ripley made the save, cleared the ring to face with Charlotte. And Charlotte acknowledged the assist. I don't want these two to fight again. Please don't let these two fight again. Paige and Bree are women's tag team champions. We're ready to defend against anyone. I don't want a long reign by them, but they'll step up. R-Truth and Priest were for Axiom. R-Truth accidentally offered for Axiom a tag team title shot. Then we got Miz. Everything's going on with Miz and Kit Wilson and Danhausen is just hilarious and good stuff. It was a booby trap and fireworks went off, and the Miz opened up a briefcase and got 40K. I don't know what's going on. We go to the tag team title match with R-Truth and Damian Priest taking on Axiom in a solid match, but of course Priest hit the razor's edge on Axiom to get the W. The MFT attack, and Solo and Tyler Tonga stand tall, and there was no Jacob Fatu, but the Usos interrupted, said the Tongan death grip is sacred, and Fatu crossed a line. They said Roman Reigns wasn't accepting that disrespect. Solo said they weren't asking, they were telling him. Solo ordered Tyler to attack the Usos, and Solo said Roman is in the tribal chief and Fatu is the dead man. We're back to doing the bloodline stuff all over again, but again Jacob brought out the Tongan death grip. That is big business right there. Sammy confronted Cody about calling him sarcastic and condescending, and Sammy said, Cody, you're the golden boy. That wasn't an insult, and said that they were the last true good guys. This heel turn on Sammy is working really, really well. Cody said Sammy spoke the truth, but they weren't the same, and Sammy was stunned. Then we got Cody versus Ricky Saints. Cody counted the Rochambeau into the crossroads, and I figured we would do a little bit more with Ricky, but no, Gunther attacked Cody and said, I'm taking this championship. So we just threw Ricky by the wayside. We got more stuff with Danhausen, Miz, and Kit Wilson. Danhausen arrived in his housing mobile, threw money to the fans. More stuff happened, and but Miz and Kit ended up beating him down. We got a vignette with Blake Monroe. She's doing her thing, and she will be coming to SmackDown. Royce Keys defeated Angel Garza easily. Whatever. Tiffany Stratton announced an open challenge for her championship next week, and Chelsea Green revealed that she has been miraculously healed and she wants the title. Kiana and Joya demanded a title shot. Tiffany gave the match to Kiana instead of Joya, and Joya did not look happy about this. Listen, I told y'all they care more about Kiana than they do about Joya. Royce congratulated Fatu on his W and told remember where you are, but where we came from, where we grew up. And Fatu appreciated that pep talk. I can see a tag team with these two because I don't think Jacob's defeating Roman, but we'll get into that with the Backlash preview this week. Tyler Tonga attacked Keys mid-conversation, so Jacob ran him off. Sammy murdered the gingerbread man. Sammy killed the gingerbread man, and Trick Williams threw up the X. The gingerbread man is dead. The gingerbread man is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, Paige and Bree once again said they will be putting the titles on the line. They are Forces 1 next. They are coming for that championship, and they'll take out Nikki Bella to get through them. Trick said no one messes with the gingerbread man, and he said Sammy was messing with his money, and that's unforgivable. Trick promised to beat Sammy at Backlash, and a trainer informed Trick that the gingerbread man didn't make it, and Trick mourned. The Bella, Bree, and Paige put the tag titles on line against the Irresistible Forces. Somehow they won. Bree rolled up Nia. Somehow they won. I thought Nia and Lash were just really, really dominant, but hey, whatever. Then we got an in memoriam for the gingerbread man. Trick says it's gonna be a funeral segment next week. I don't know if I like it or if I love it. Sammy complained about the gingerbread man's funeral, and Aldis confirmed that Sammy's U.S. title rematch will be going down at Backlash. Aldis also booked Hausen and The Miz at Hausen, and a part of his choosing versus The Miz and Kit Wilson at Backlash as well. Main event was the Usos taking on Solo and Tyler Tonga. It's a fine match. you know how this was going to end. It ended in DQ after Jacob Fatu attacked Tyler Tonga. Fatu smashed Tyler, and then he locked in the Tongan death grip on Solo. And then Tyler suffered the same fate, and he got caught with a Samoan drop through the table. And Fatu told the Usos to tell Roman, I'm coming for him. Yo, Jacob Fatu is about that life, ladies and gentlemen. Over on Collision, it's all about the Jet. The show's first opening contest was the Death Riders teaming up with the Dogs. This was Mox, Claudio, and Pac, with Clark and David Finlay taking on Top Flight and the Rascals in a fun match. This was I love Collision open matches like these. The Death Riders and the Dogs got the win after Darius tapped out to the Brutalizer. Jack Perry arrived, ready to put his national championship on the line against Mascara Dorada in a great match. This was really entertaining, but Jack ultimately retained following a super hurricanrana and hitting the knee. Stat is mad at Sheeta. Sheeta vowed to make things right, and Sheeta's really messing up. Stat almost murdered her. The conglomeration put non-title match took on MXM TV. This was what was it? It was Roddy, Kyle, and Orange Cassidy. Ultimately, conglomeration won in a fun TV match. After the match, Ciampa walked out or stayed in with the champs. Looks like I think Dax is going to end up beating Orange Cassidy. Again, we got the health update on Rebel, acknowledging her ALS battle, and she has the continued support of everyone here in AEW. We got a recap of everything that happened with Mox on Dynamite and Will Ospreay. And then we got the TBS title match, Willow taking on Anna Jay, another comeback. Fun match. Two of my favorites, two women. You know what I mean. I do some things to y'all for they tell me to jump how high, you know what I mean. But ultimately, Willow Nightingale won with the babe with the power bomb. A comeback killer strikes again. Sheeta tried to make amends with Stat by gifting her a tag team match, and Stat was unimpressed. Harley and Mina were announced as their opponents, and Sheeta said that she would fix things. Stat didn't look convinced. Death Riders team up. This was Yota and Daniel Garcia taking on the Bang Bang Gang, taking on Austin and Juice. Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, after the Riders hit the fastball special buck hit, finished Juice off, Austin had a springboard kick, Robinson planted Garcia with his DDT move, which whatever, and they won. Well, the Death Riders attacked until Guns up. The Guns ran in. We're back to almost full strength. We got Colton, we got Austin, we got Juice, we got Ace. We just waiting on Jay. And now since this is our show, Collision really has always been the Gun show, and we ain't going anywhere. Mega Bane and Lena Cross laid down a challenge that they have been dominant. Who can really stand up to them as tag team champions? Sky Blue got a quick win over Nixie XS, winning with the Code Blue. All right, and then our main event was Kevin Knight putting the TNT Championship on the line versus Hook. Now, here's the thing: Kevin Knight won. That was fine. Like, you knew he was going to win, but you're building up the ops. They're getting some momentum. I would have not had Hook be in this match. I would have had it be anybody else besides Hook. Maybe even Max Castle has just been around, like, to tie into what's going on with ours, but I would not have had Hook in this match. But ultimately, Kevin Knight did get the W. Our matches of the week from Dynamite: Kevin Knight versus MJF for the TNT Championship. Just check that out. Also from Dynamite, Darby, Brody King Men's World Championship from New Japan's Wrestling Dontaku. Ladies and gentlemen, just go watch this match. Just go listen. Stop what you're doing. Go watch this match. Andrade Idolo versus Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship From AAA, Kingdom Sanders, Mini Vikingo versus Hijo del Vikingo. And from Collision, Jack Perry, Mascara, Dorada for the National Championship. Our star of the week, got to go with Andrade, Idolo, for becoming the new IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. And that is our show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look on the screen we got coming up. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. I see you when I see you. Peace.